Hello everyone, how's it going? It's your boy Skilled Fawn, and today we're gonna do another Tomb Raider challenge run. This time also bows only, and we're gonna be doing it on the second game. So let's get straight into the rules. So it's bows only. Um, Pretty much, don't switch from the bow. Melee kills are allowed as like a last resort, but I have to use the bow finisher, fully upgrade a bow, and then beat the game. And then also at the beginning there, showed myself choosing the hardest difficulty. Will be very interesting and a tough challenge. You'll see why later on. It gets very hectic. Um, with the amount of health that Lara has and that last like description on that the super challenge, the extreme survivor, just makes it all the more difficult. So whenever I die, uh if I haven't like rested at a campfire in a little bit, I'm actually gonna like lose all that progress that I built up, and it's happened a few times. I'll definitely point it out, but it was a fun but definitely tough challenge. So yeah, pretty much at the beginning we're just introducing what's going on. So we're trying to find this lost city up in the mountains, the snowy mountains, and of course an avalanche occurs. So we're gonna whip on out of there. Lara got a mild concussion, but hey, she's a trooper. Gonna push on through. Yeah, I'm pretty excited start getting into this. We'll see how things go. Um this game is a lot different than the first game. The first game is pretty basic, I would say, but it still has I think a better storyline overall than this. But this game has a pretty decent story. So we're heading into Syria. We're gonna check out this other temple slash tomb. We think it's of the prophet. Of course, a hind appears right as we get there. But yeah, in this game, there's a lot of resources crafting, um, like a lot of uh, just going around like collecting things, killing animals, things like that. That I actually like a decent bit. Definitely adds, a bit of content to the game, but it's also like kind of annoying at times because you gotta go out and grind some items. Like if you don't have a bunch of arrows, you gotta pick up wood and the feathers. But yeah, since this game did take a really long time, which I wasn't surprised by how long it took, but it was nearly the same time as an Elden Ring playthrough, if not like a bit longer because I haven't played it in a while. It was about like 12 hours, and like a challenge run usually takes about like 10 to 12 for me, depending on what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm going around, I'm trying to increase my Greek translation skills and to show off some of the story just so some of you guys that haven't played this game are in the loop. That's usually what I like to do when I cover a game for the first time. Is I'll show a bit more of the story, and then if I keep playing the game and do challenge run videos, then I'll usually just cut that part out. But yeah, I picked up some ancient coins because after we got to level 1, we were able to read the monolith, and these coins are not going to be useful right now. Not till we get to the Soviet installation, but it's going to give a very powerful upgrade later on for the bow. We make it to the tomb, and I mean, this game looks pretty beautiful. One thing I do love playing Tomb Raider 4. Yeah, kind of funny. The very first time I played Extreme Survivor, because this isn't the first time I tried the difficulty, but the first time I did it, it was like a few years ago, if not maybe more, and I played it through, and then I got this like first mission, and pretty much died like right at the end, and there's no campfires at all in this mission, so you have to go back to the start, and it was just so frustrating. there was a there was this part right here. There's a single jump at the end, and at first I was so used to, because I think I played the first game and then I went to this game, or I waited. I don't remember when, but I just did not sprint or did not jump correctly, so I just died there, and it was a headache. Yeah, eventually we make it back in the present where we, uh, got caught by that avalanche, and now we made shelter, made some nice hot fire, keep Lara warm, especially after that very cold tumble she had. But Lara needs something. She needs the actual bow. And that first whole mission was pistol. The game forces you to use it. That's the only weapon you get, and you have to kill people. So, I mean, challenge run technically should end there, but we're gonna entertain the idea, and we're just gonna, you know, use it for the rest of the game because I mean, I obviously can't undo what the game has forced me. Yeah, it's showing off a little bit of the upgrades here. Uh, some of the other bows have a lot more, and like they do insane damage, especially the compound bows. Yeah, like I don't know if it's this mission or the mission after, but it unlocks like a bunch of the bows like pretty early. So I'm able to get a nice compound bow. Something killed the men. If we find out exactly what that something is. We gotta dodge on through. And we do take a bit of a tumble. We make it back to our camp. We're resting when we hear a gunshot. Lara's a bit curious what's going on, so she's gonna investigate. And this is our first bow section. And the bow, I have to say, is... I mean, you're not getting the multi-kills that you're able to with other weapons. I mean, unless you're like really, really good at aiming. But it's quite. I mean, if I had a mouse and keyboard, it'd be a bit easier for this. But yeah, we get our first like real upgrade for the bow, which is the poison arrows. And I mean, on the bear, it's not that good. It just unlocks them for a little bit. But with like normal enemies, it'll just straight up kill them. So like even like no matter how armored up they are, the only enemy it won't work on is the flamethrower guy. But there's only one of them.
A Byzantine war galley. How the hell did it get down here?
Yeah, this is one of the many optional tombs in the game. This is one of 9. And yeah, this was my very first death. I got a bit scared like mid jump and I tried going back and then yeah, kind of
All this.
messed myself
Why
up.
were they carrying so much wealth with
But
them?
once you complete a challenge tomb, you'll permanently unlock a skill. There's 3 skill categories. It's like brawler,
This
uh,
code details the archery
I think
techniques of the foes of
some
the
type of like
Byzantine Empire.
crafting one. Yeah, I honestly forget the tiers, but there's 3 of them, and then they're, uh, they each have like different things within them. I mostly went for the middle category because I just found it more useful for this run. It was a lot of like bow stuff. And like the last tier, I'm pretty sure for the middle one, it
New enemy.
gave like an upgrade to
That
each
remains
of
to be
the
seen.
extra arrow types.
Who killed those men back there? I killed them to survive. I suspect you did too.
Because yeah, that's one of the cool things about this game is like in the first game you just had, I believe,
At most.
well, you had the like regular arrows, and then like kind of later you get the fire arrows, and like it definitely helps. But in this game you can get
I came here for something.
like your standard arrows, you get the poison arrows, you get the fire arrow, then you get a grenade arrow, and then like very very late into the game you get just regular armor piercing arrows like for your standard ones, and you get Greek fire, so that increases the fire arrow. It's just insane. Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite optional tombs is at the end, so stay tuned for that. So Exorcism, the tomb. See, I'm just showing off here me going through the Soviet installation. I spent about maybe 45 minutes to an hour just running around collecting and progressing. And of course, I was just trying to use this like rappel down thing. I wanted to just quickly get down, and of course, Lara doesn't grab it, and I've died, and I lost all my progress, so I had to restart. And like, yeah, it definitely took a bit of time, but I was able to come back and progress the story. We're gonna see our 2 big bads again. We heard them a bit on the radio before, but now we're seeing them for the first time. Yeah, we get tossed in the prison, gonna hinder our movement for a little bit. We meet a potential ally in the prison. We're not sure if
Nothing. I won't
it
be.
was good or bad, but hear what he's saying. Eventually, I do find another bow. It's a slightly better one.
Take this.
We unlock them.
In case we get separated.
Yeah, this is one of our like first big like zone, or it's not really that big, but like first zones that you can just run around and you have to kill people. But yeah, I took the stealth approach, and it's always fun. I mean, it's always fun going loud, but sometimes it's fun being like Ezio Auditore and being a sneaky killer. Here we're gonna learn a little bit of the bad guys' plan and their motivations, who they are. And they figure out we left, which, I mean, it definitely took them a lot of time. Surprised they didn't notice the mound of people outside. And yeah, this is the next part that I had a bit of difficulty with. I mean, everything before this was pretty smooth, besides that one death that set me back a very long time. Yeah, right here I'm just showing off some of the bows, and like some of these bows I don't have complete, but it just lets me use them. I'm not entirely sure why, but get the compound bow because I figured it'd be better to have damage over the other things. And I mean, honestly, you could go either way. You could go uh, like just the rate of fire and draw speed, because pretty much any headshot, unless they're armored, is like a one shot. You could just spam their helmet off. Yeah, this area I was having a bit of trouble. Died a few times, and eventually I got a pretty good run. Took it way more slow. And it is a bit more forgiving than the first game in regards to Lara's health. Like, I think in the first game, you'd get shot by like 3 AK bullets and instantly die. In this one, it's a bit more lenient, but still not that much better. I'm just showing off me failing in a tomb. Of course, I died and had to run all the way back. And I was like, all right, let me do another tomb. And then I realized that jumps a bit too far. I was like, okay, let's just go back to the first tomb. And it is pretty cool, some of the shots that they give you. The playa. But we're gonna permanently unlock another skill. This is probably the best one out of all of them. It's basically a second life.
Whatever they found, it's got to be in there. It's an ancient codex, a philosophical argument on the virtue of awareness.
Yeah, pretty much you'll see that whenever like
Looks like they dragged it.
my screen will turn a different color after I've taken like a ton of damage. That usually means I died, and then it just brought me back. So it is quite nice. And I got the first tier of all the bow upgrades. I get a few useful skills. One of them is whenever I'm aiming at someone's head, it'll kind of pop up like a reticle. We're gonna, just be a little stealthy. Pretty useful right here. I'm gonna get the crafting tool. This is gonna give me the ability to get the second tier of upgrades. And basically the tier 2 and 3 upgrades are behind those crates. If you search enough of them, you'll eventually find them. It's determined by how many you open is what you'll get. Um, like in like an order, you'll always get like a few bow parts and then like pistol part, and then you'll get the crafting tool, no matter like which order you actually get them. Yeah, we're getting ambushed, but these poison arrows are definitely the most overpowered arrows, I would say. Um, though the poison cloud does not last that long. Later on, you can upgrade it, get it to last a very, very long time. And yeah, I'm definitely not the best shot. I do clutch it up. Hate these guys that toss explosives all the time. Yeah, of course I died. I died so many times in this challenge run. Definitely tough, but
This
it
statue
was a
must
lot of
belong to the
fun.
prophet.
I think that's the like good and bad thing about the first game is the first thing or the first game is
It shows the exodus
like
of his
really
people from the
really
deserts of
easy and
Syria.
simple to get into.
They
Like you don't have
settled in
to
a hidden valley
really go around
built
finding all
a
these
beautiful city.
resources. I mean, there's definitely like,
Hush.
resources you have to get for your upgrades, but it's not
They
as
protect the city
like
and its people. The
not for
prophet
like
reigned
everything in the
over
game.
the
Like you don't have to
warriors.
craft arrows.
But what is this
Pretty much just
stranger
gives you a boatload of ammo.
It's not the divine source they're holding. Something else. Something
And
else.
yeah, the game's like, I don't know, at least half the
Centuries
time
of warriors
this.
forged for him an atlas, that the prophet might always know his city and its secrets. A
They were
magical
learning a bit
city
more about what's going
that will
on
show the
with
way
the
to the divine
prophet,
source.
what his actual, whole thing is. We're gonna venture deeper to the heart of the land when we stumble into Sophia again, our allies.
Stop right there! Easy. Easy. You know I'm not with Trinity. Why should we believe you? I escaped with one of yours. A man named Jacob.
So yeah, kind of surprisingly too, but they put bonuses to
Separated in the
the
mountains.
outfit that you wear.
She killed him.
And
No. Jacob would never.
I mean, I think my outfit actually, they switched it like during one of the early missions. I just never switched it back, but I had a pretty good outfit that gave a decent reward. I forget what it was. And yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure it changed my outfit, but
I'm glad you made it out of there. Forgive Sophia, she is cautious.
But yeah, so we get to their camp, and then I decide to
Astonishing.
explore around a bit, and I find
These
another
architecture
optional
predates the
tomb.
rise of Eastern Orthodoxy.
And yeah, definitely if you play through Tomb Raider, try and, I don't know, do the optional tombs at least once. So fun. I don't know, the puzzles, and then
Looks to be
I don't know,
a
just
treatise on the
seeing
connection
like
between the
what
body and
like
the mind.
era it was from, all that stuff. I think that was one of the cool things from the first one was there was like a downed World War II plane or something, and you got to figure out how to climb on its tail. You could jump up.
Jacob, helicopters are headed your way.
But yeah, of course, our or the whole like village gets raided by the bad guys. Trinity, basically the Illuminati. Yeah, we get a pump action shotgun. And usually whenever you get a gun, it like forces you to use it. But luckily, it still gave me all my other weapons, and I was able to kill these guys fairly easy. They did, wail on my health. I had a really weird glitch right there. I had a ton of weird glitches in this game. But most notably were the ones at the end. And the ones at the end, one of them was just really funny, and then the other one just kind of was game breaking and caused me to die. Yeah, that's definitely one of the bad things about using a flamethrower is you literally have an explosive on your back. Yeah, we repelled the enemies. We're gonna see Constantine and his sister talk about things. Anna was Lara's like dad's, I don't know, wife or girlfriend. I'm not sure if
You have nothing to show for
I mean, I don't think it's her mom. I think it's like after
You're failing.
uh
Trinity will step in.
like her mom died, she got with or he got with Anna, not she. Oh my gosh.
They have no interest in my survival. I need the power of the
But
sword.
yeah, so anyways, I'm gonna be progressing the story a little bit, but then we're gonna go and do some tombs. Uh, that's pretty much what I'm aiming for before the end is to complete all the tombs. One, because it'll give me more of those Byzantium coins, and those coins are needed to fully upgrade your weapon, and it costs like 175 of them. You get about 10 coins per tomb, and there's 8 tombs that you can do before the end, pretty much. I mean, I guess you can do all 9 of them, but the last one is in the final area. And that one's definitely the coolest out of all of them. Like, some of them are a lot cooler than others, and like this one tomb was pretty annoying with the boats, but it definitely looks cool. That's one thing I'm excited for. Third game, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Definitely check that out if you guys enjoy this. Running all the other runs I do. Yeah, we see Sophia. We're gonna rescue her, but unfortunately, a bunch of her people died.
I'll kill every last one of them.
She does trust us a bit more now, her and Jacob.
So much bloodshed. We're losing too many people. Maybe your people have sacrificed enough. It's all we've known.
Yeah, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, that's gonna be really fun. Like I said,
Tell me how I can
that's
help.
probably the Tomb Raider. I mean, besides like the old Tomb Raider games, it's probably one of the ones I've played the least. I have played the old Tomb Raider games very long time ago. Um, Gosh, it had to be on the 360 when I was playing that a bunch. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just all the polygons in the old games, they're too much. The quality was too high. but they were fun nonetheless. It was like the story. I remember one of them being underwater, like the very first mission. Yeah, we get our third arrow type. That's like not the end because we can upgrade each arrow type even further, so it does more damage. And we can also get Greek fire at the end of the game, which leaves like a napalm effect on the ground. Does way more damage, and any armored em any armored enemies, they'll lose their armor and pretty much get instantly destroyed.
You're damn right I am.
There are some really cool fight sequences in this game where just a ton of people charge at you. And I'm trying to get as many headshots as I can because you get way more XP. And XP is the name of the game. I got a few skills early on that would like slowly help to boost my XP. One of them was Avid Explorer. You may see it pop up now and then, but whenever I collect collectibles and stuff like that, just like translate things, it's gonna give me like plus I think 10 extra. So yeah, kind of funny. Whenever there's these like Juggernaut guys, they're probably the easiest just because they move the slowest.
This one appears to be an instruction manual for mountaineering.
We get yet another skill. Gonna be very nice. This I love the ones for climbing. It just makes it so much more bearable. So that was the baths, and then this is the mines. They were definitely both cool, but I had a little incident in mines. It was kind of stupid. I uh, was trying to jump up to this one place. I used the grapple rope, and it worked. And like right as I was climbing up the rope, Lara just decided to jump down. I didn't even click anything. You died. I had to reset the whole puzzle, which I mean wasn't the end of the world, but you know, it definitely adds up the time loss. You die. So yeah, pretty much at this point we're like mid game, I would say, if not uh slightly further in.
Lara, it's good to see you, Sophia.
We got 7 out of the 9 tombs. Or maybe, yeah, I think it said 7 out of 9. There's one that I'm missing because I don't have the, um, actually, no. Oh, wait, no. The last one that I'm missing in the main area is because it's in actually one of the early areas, the Soviet installation. I walked past it. I forgot that it was um, under this area that you have to destroy. I thought it was in this one cave that I kept looking in. Like, am I missing something? But no. So I'll go do that slightly later on. And that tomb doesn't really matter as much. I don't think it gave the best skill. So anyways, we get a really cool cutscene here. We find this like map piece. This is gonna lead us to the Lost City. You learn a little bit more about like the land too and the blueprints. And especially from Jacob, we find out a little bit more about him and that he's been holding back some information, but he just doesn't, completely trust us yet.
Stop! That's it. under the lake. It's under the glacier. The divine source must be there.
How the hell are we gonna get through all that ice?
Wait.
That stare, though.
Here leads into the city. The cathedral is there, and the tower on the other side. That means the entrance to Katesh must be
Yeah, definitely
the entrance to Katesh.
off later, like past this point, because most enemies are gonna have helmets, and that just means it's gonna take 2 shots to headshot them. Not all the enemies have helmets, but definitely most of them do from this point. To this point, I don't know, it confused me a bit, and maybe I'm just not seeing something. Let me know in the comments, but like, Jonah grabs the map piece, he's holding it here, and I mean, I guess the guy's like holding it with him, but I don't know why he just didn't drop it as they're rising up. He could have kept it out of enemy hands. Especially because Lara was like right under him. She possibly could have caught it. So yeah, this is that tomb I was talking about under the Soviet installation. This one was very similar to the baths one, but, well, I'd say inversely proportional, or just somewhat similar. They basically differ in that the baths of Katesh, in that one you have to lower the water, but in this one you gotta raise the water, because you start off very low in this one.
On the gifts of the earth.
And yeah, this is I mean, this skill is definitely not the worst, but not at all that great. Definitely worse skills, but hey, it's, you know, something to help nonetheless. So I spent about like an hour, maybe hour and a half, going around and scavenging a bunch of the Byzantine coins. This allowed me to get the refinement tool. I'm able to get the final tier of upgrades for the bow. And yeah, this bow is already a beast, but you can make it even better. Make it have nearly max damage. And we head into the research base. We find Jonah getting interrogated by Constantine.
But even my patience has limits. Tell me what you know. Now!
This was just another thing that I was just very curious about. Yeah, I just don't understand why he didn't back up a bit. And like, he could still hold him at gunpoint, but just slowly, you know, like back up like at least a step or two. Just so, like, if this happens, you know, you have time to react. It's like, gosh, it's just bad guys 101. Like, you just, if you're gonna hold a gun to their head that close, not kill them,
Jacob, he's dying.
like, you gotta just, you know, you gotta play it a bit safe and back up, watch their movements. Yeah, this is where we see a miracle occur.
The sun shall not harm you by day, nor moon by night. The Lord guard your soul from all evil. The Lord guard your going and coming, from now to all time.
So yeah, when I was playing through this, I kind of forgot about the story a bit, because it has been a while. The first game story has always stuck with me, uh, and it'll always be like my favorite of the three new ones.
Shot. You are
But
him.
yeah,
Who
this
are
is
you?
like pretty much the whole big revelation of the game is we're trying to look for the prophet in his tomb. We find out Jacob, the prophet, and that's why that very first tomb in Syria there was no body there
Save for a human.
because I mean either they built it like for
Amazing.
people to think he was dead so he could
Jacob, let me
escape,
in.
or he
What
just
will I find down here?
like I don't know. I don't know. There's a million options we could theorize about.
But it should be safe, at least
I don't know.
until
Maybe
Jacob
it's
comes.
something in the lore
Was it built
that
in
they
the
include. I'm not
cemetery?
sure.
It was built by my astronomers before the deathless buried the old city. You'll need to
Yeah,
use
there's definitely many beautiful things to look at in this game. There's also some really cool puzzles too that are like beautiful to look at, and this is one of them.
This is extraordinary.
Kind of like massive scale of all the planets. And so I go through and I uh, unlock the mechanism, which you got to do like a bunch of parkour. And the very first time or not the first like few times I tried this, Lara will say like now when you have to drop down, and I didn't know that. So when she said now, I got like pressured and I pressed it like a second or a millisecond after the slowdown occurred.
A codex. This one speaks of the advanced archery skills developed in Byzantium.
We get a really like that's the one thing that's amazing for these bow runs in these games is they give a lot of useful skills. So there's that like three shot that you can shoot very quick. And then like there's all the skills for the upgrades of each arrows. There's a ton of them. Uh, I didn't get like all the skills. I definitely miss out on about like 20, maybe like 15 to 20 skills. Um, this is where we see the Deathless Prophet's army, the Deathless army. You see just the sheer numbers of them.
Many of them.
We climbing up when we get ambushed, and these guys are quite difficult. Um, and yeah, there's like many times where the game, forces you to, melee someone or just like, use something that like is not the bow. Kind of similar to the first game. In this game though, it definitely isn't as egregious, and it is a bit more uh, you're choosing. The first game forces you to use certain things a lot. Um, but yeah, in this game there were, definitely some instances, but not as much. And of course, like the challenge run could end there. And, but we got to entertain the idea. It's not like Elden Ring where there's way more, or like any Soulsborne game where there's a lot more freedom with how you play, like challenge runs you do. Yeah, we finally make it to the Lost City, make it past
Mind
the
source has to be there.
Deathless Army. You can see the Chamber of Souls and the way to get
The way
in.
into the city center is through that gate.
And this is when I was like, all right, let's go do the final optional tomb. And as I'm approaching, I hear a bear. So, with like all the skills, this is just gonna show you how overpowered I am. I can spam 3 shots, and I like pull back my bow way faster now. It's at least double, not triple what it was before.
My God.
And yeah, this is the coolest tomb in the game by far. There are a lot of neat ones, but yeah, this one definitely takes the cake. The Chamber of Exorcism. Just looking at the murals on the wall, it's like, damn. And yeah, it was pretty, pretty terrible. There was this like, uh, that like cage right there that you saw. It was under that middle area, submerged in water, and there was like this like gas that would come out. I don't know. It was pretty pretty terrifying, pretty bad. Yeah, we get the last skill that will be unlocked from the tombs. This is by far the best one for Greek fire. We are not using Molotovs, but this will be good for the arrows. And yeah, we're gonna progress on the story now. That's pretty much all that's left. We do, keep getting upgrades though. We get the armor piercing arrows now. So if I ever run out of the special ones, at least my main arrows won't be as bad. They're launching the trebuchets. That's the thing about Greek fire, is it absolutely just spreads everywhere in the ground. So you get damaged over time. Just very annoying for you, but it does kill all of them pretty quickly. Yeah, you can see right there, and I'm sure there's a few cases before. I don't think I pointed it out, but I would die. And then whenever you see, that flash of light, that means I got resurrected. It's just pretty funny. So this is like the end of the game. And this is where I had those 2 really funny glitches. I jump up and I look, and these guys are just T-posing. Like, what the hell? And yeah, they when they T-posed and died, I was just staring at them. I wasn't even really paying attention to what was going on, so I almost died. And yeah, I'm not too sure what was going on there. I think it had to do with something of like where I was placed on the tower. So then when the cutscene occurred, like it just destroyed that part of the tower, leaving me vulnerable. But yeah, this part is very unrealistic, but we're gonna destroy these explosive barrels above the helicopter. There's a lot of things that are pretty unbelievable about this game, but this definitely takes the cake. So it's just insane, the archery skills that Lara would need. So yeah, I was just, testing the explosive arrows to make sure they do explode. A few enemies get close though, and yeah, they still work. They still work. We get our third and final shot. We're able to take down the hind. Yeah, very similar to the deathless people in the first game. I think they're so underused, uh, and like, I mean, you really don't fight them until you get to the end area. But I think it would have been pretty cool if like maybe there was a few like deathless guys in one of the optional tombs, especially like uh as you go like further into the story, or like maybe just there's one super deep underground. Yeah, I kind of wish they were. I don't know. There was a few more encounters with them. But yeah, we're now gonna find an exit. I figured there was probably gonna be like another fight or something, either with one of the big bad guys of the Deathless, or Constantine was somehow gonna be alive. Like I mentioned, it was a while since I played this game, so I didn't exactly remember all the details of the story. So yeah, you gotta throw cans, like bottles, and then up behind them, stab them, which I thought was pretty stupid. But I guess it makes sense because if you just had like all of your weapons, you would absolutely melt him. Like if I had all my poison arrows, it would probably just kill him instantly. Also kind of interesting, I don't show it here, but because this whole cutscene took at least like 5 to 10 minutes, and I'll spare you the time. But like
This was never
it either gives you the option to kill him or just let him be killed by like the building collapsing, and like there's literally no like whatever you choose just doesn't matter. It's just whatever you think's cool in the moment. Like I don't know. I mean, maybe like I said, there's like some lore thing uh that they explain in like the next game, or maybe like if you chose it in this game, like the save for the next game, it's like, oh, we'll look at your Rise of the Tomb Raider save, see if he's alive or dead. But I think that's just, I don't think they would have done that. I think that's asking way too much. God, that was so fun back in the day. A little rant, but playing the Walking Dead Telltale games. Yeah, we make it the very end. We're seeing all of the things unfold. Anna has the divine source. Definitely a cooler thing than, I don't know, like the end with Himiko. I thought that was very weird from the first game. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, the first game just was way better overall. But I think the ideas were there for this game, and it has a pretty, decent story. Definitely could have been better. I'm not saying it was perfect. And like it has flaws, but I think this is a way better story than what I remember from Shadows of the Tomb Raider, the next installment. Yeah, it's pretty sad. You we have to smash the artifact, and like you build a a pretty decent relationship with Jacob, and especially his daughter. Um, I'm like kind of curious, like if Jacob told his daughter like what actually like the truth of the matter before he came down here, because I mean maybe Lara's just like, oh, he sacrificed himself and just didn't want to tell her the truth. I don't know, who knows. I, I need answers for these things. These are just the things that I think about, but anyways, we have a touching last moment with him. Say our goodbyes. And he was a good character. He was probably the best character in this besides Lara. Constantine and Anna had a pretty good story, but Jacob and just this whole thing was cool. And yeah, that's Rise of the Tomb Raider completed. Um, definitely, definitely one of the harder challenges. Um, just for the fact that you lose all of your progress. Um, in the first game, like even the hardest one was like still hard, but was not as restrictive as this game. This game, it like even if you picked up resources and then you died, like everything was lost from that point at the campfire that you last saved. So like, yeah, I died like I don't know, maybe 15 plus times in this. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know the specific numbers, but I died a lot. A lot of time loss. And yeah, it was very tough, but very fun. Um I'm gonna be doing the next Tomb Raider game very shortly. I just re-downloaded it. So expect to see that on the channel soon. I haven't played that one as much. I think I've only done like one playthrough of that, maybe two, and I don't even think I ever beat it. But I could be wrong. It has been a very long time since I've played these games. Not like I mean, just like a few years, but still, like, it's a lot to forget the specifics. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. This video's gone on for long enough, so expect to see more content in the future. I've got Elden Ring stuff coming and a few more just like random stuff like Need for Speed. I'm possibly thinking about going to another 360 game that I used to play after Need for Speed. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe I'll do the original Toy Soldiers or I'll do uh, something else. But thank you guys for tuning in. Again, please like and subscribe if you would like to support me and my content, and expect to see more stuff in the future. Uh, Take care. Guild Fawn out.